How's it going, guys? EFK here, and today we're going to be talking about Sega. Oh, who doesn't love Sega? Sega's like the most amazing game company ever. They lost the console wars in the 90s. I know, it's very sad, but they won a place for all of our hearts in the 90s as well. And that is funny coming from me, since I wasn't even alive in the 90s. I'm the new kid on the block. But I digress. So, why with the title like Sega sucks at game preservation, I can hear people already in the comments going, "Oh, you're wrong. How dare you insult my Sega? How dare you? That is not right. You are wrong. How dare you insult them? You're a monster. How dare you?" All I'm saying is, guys, calm down. Have your milk. Have your cookies. Calm down. I'm gonna explain myself, and then you can decide whether or not you hate me in about 5-10 minutes. So, why does Sega suck at game preservation? Well, for those who don't know, Sega's been making consoles for about 20 years, between 1983 to 2001, so about 18 years. And they were never the market leader. They never won the console war. They was never the champion. Sure, they had the coolest ad campaigns to some of them, and some of the weirder ones with like the Saturn and that. But they didn't win the console wars because the games they had weren't, well, they were pretty good games, but not the best. And obviously Nintendo had the brand loyalty and Sony had the power, so they kind of lost. So, why does Sega suck at game preservation? Well, besides those consoles, you only ever seem to hear about the same console Sega has re-released. The Sega Mega Drive, Sega Genesis, whatever you call it in your country. I know the Americans were special and got a different name because whatever. But everyone else called it the Mega Drive. So he called it the Mega Drive because it's called the Mega Drive in every other country except the US. So just stop calling it the Genesis in the US because it just sounds stupid. But yeah, basically, besides that console, every other country got the Sega Mega Drive. The Sega Mega Drive, for those who don't know, is Sega's, I believe it's like their third console after the SG-1000 and the Mars system. So yeah, they don't really bother with their consoles besides the third one they ever made. You don't really hear about the Game Gear stuff either or anything else, so it's kind of unfortunate that Sega doesn't really care for its own legacy. But, I hear some people asking, they have Night into Dreams on Steam, and they have some Sega Dreamcast games on there as well. You're just wrong, you're wrong. Yeah, but you don't have all the games from them, do you? Exactly. And they're not all on modern consoles either, do you? No. But I will say, Sega has some very iconic game franchises, like Sega Bass Fishing, because we love fishing in our country. It's a very national pastime down here in the southern lands. We like doing a bit of the fishing. You also have Girls Garden, obviously. SG-1000 game was released on the 3DS, not available to purchase on Steam or any modern console, which is very annoying. I'm annoyed that Sega, sort that out of place. I want to play the game. Then you have, Slightly Frustrated Birds, which is something they've acquired recently. We all know that game, you're sitting on the toilet, you get the slingshot, you boom, and then hopefully you knock down the evil piggies. There's also a few other things that they have, like Vector Man and Alex the Kid, which I don't really know if anyone actually plays Alex Kid. I always thought everyone played Blue Mario, which is Sega's other big franchise. Sega loves their Blue Mario game. I don't know why they made him spiky, but it's called Blue Mario. Check it out. And you also have GTA in Japan with that GTA in Japan like vibe. And then you have Persona, which is Persona. But what can Sega do to improve its game preservation? Well, first thing for me would be to re-release the Sonic Advance games on modern systems. Sonic Advance is obviously a game series that has not been re-released. So I'm like, okay, re-release that stuff on modern systems. Also, Sega should preserve their games on other companies' platforms as well as their own platforms. There's a ton of games Sega has produced over the years, and well, it's rather unfortunate that Sega's not really bothered with preserving their own legacy outside of the Mega Drive. I also think Sega should do something with the Sega Pico. If you don't even know what the Sega Pico is, Sega Pico is basically Sega's edutainment system. And an edutainment system is meant to edutain kids to make them smarter and have fun. Which I don't even know if that's possible to make someone smarter whilst they're having fun. To me, that seems very unlikely. But yeah, besides all that, I think Sega should do that. I think they should also get the slightly angry birds, or slightly annoyed birds, a game series, put them all on ROMs, make sure they're all available on modern smartphones as well, make sure that you have like backups preserved on, the Sega hard drives, just in case, Google and Apple go bust tomorrow, or like they're stolen by aliens or something, and we have no iPhones anymore or whatever. Just saying. That could happen. It's not plausible, but it could happen. Just saying. Just trying to think with my brain here. But yeah, that's what I think Sega should do as a way to preserve their legacy more, and obviously make the games widely available on like modern systems. I think that's the best way forward for Sega to keep in the hearts and the minds of many generations to come, even if the original founders, pass away or leave or whatever. Sega would still be fine because their games would still be in the eyes of many people. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? You know, let me know your thoughts. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, turn notifications. I've been Eve Kate, and I'm signing out. Peace.